But this is not real life. This is professional wrestling, and they're going to settle it in the ring at WrestleMania 41. Welcome to Wrestling Knows Best, where we talk about the world of professional wrestling and link it to the world of professional development. I'm your host, Mike E., and today we're going to talk about the WrestleMania 41 feud between the 2025 Royal Rumble winner, Charlotte Flair, versus the WWE Women's Champion, Tiffany Stratton. Now, before we get started, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and lay the smack down on the notification bell so you don't miss a video. All right, without further ado, ring that bell. Let's get started. This feud actually goes back to December 8th, 2023, in a match between Charlotte Flair versus Asuka, where Charlotte Flair ended up tearing her ACL, MCL, and meniscus, which put her out for a very long time. Fast forward about 6 weeks to the 2024 Royal Rumble, where Tiffany Stratton ends up making her main roster debut. And in the match, she actually got some Tiffy time chants. Tiffany ended up making her official main roster debut on the following SmackDown, where she defeated Michin. And then the week after that, she ended up defeating Zelina Vega in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match, where she ended up going to compete in the Elimination Chamber in 2024. Pretty good for somebody who's just starting their WWE career. After that, she was in some pretty high-profile matches. She was in a triple threat match at Backlash, and then she ended up partnering with the Queen of the Ring winner, Nia Jax, and winning the Money in the Bank ladder match shortly after. Then fast forward to SummerSlam of 2025, Nia Jax ended up winning the WWE Championship from Bayley as part of her Queen of the Ring contract. Throughout the next couple months, Tiffany ended up teasing cashing in that Money in the Bank contract against both champions, but mostly Nia Jax, which was actually quite amusing. But she didn't. She held off, and it wasn't until January 3rd, 2025, where she ended up cashing in her Money in the Bank contract against Nia Jax. Then at the 2025 Royal Rumble, Charlotte Flair makes her return and ends up winning the Royal Rumble. Now, I'm going to pause there because we have a storyline right there. Why WWE chose not to use the storyline, I don't know. Charlotte Flair was out for a long period of time, and during her time away, this young superstar, Tiffany Stratton, ends up coming into the scene and gets catapulted into the pretty much main event scene, the championship picture, and gets all of these accolades while Charlotte Flair was away. Now, Charlotte Flair could have easily come back and said, "Who do you think you are? This is my kingdom. I'm the queen, and you're just some NXT superstar." Why WWE didn't end up going that route, I don't know, but they had a storyline right there. But anyway, that's beside the point. What I wanted to talk about in this video is, if this were real life, how could they settle their differences? If you were to relate that to, let's say, high school, let's say you have Miss Popular, Charlotte Flair, who's the most popular girl in the school, and she ends up having to leave the school for a while. Maybe she gets injured, or maybe she leaves to do schooling overseas for a year. And while she's away, in comes the new kid in school, Tiffany Stratton, who ends up becoming the new Miss Popular in the school. All is fine and well until Charlotte Flair comes back from her time away, and now there's a new popular girl in school, and Charlotte Flair is thrown off. She didn't know and she didn't expect this new girl to be popular. So now Charlotte Flair lost her spot, I guess you could say, as the popular kid in school. So how should Charlotte Flair react? And how should Tiffany Stratton react? In my opinion, I believe in kindness. And I believe that Tiffany Stratton should be welcoming to Charlotte Flair. I mean, at the end of the day, I believe in abundance. So I believe that we could all have a seat at the table and we could all eat. So if Tiffany Stratton applied that mindset and welcomed Charlotte Flair back to have a quote-unquote seat at the table, then I believe that we could all live happily ever after. And if I were Charlotte Flair, it actually comes down to John Cena's first promo as a heel when he started with the quote, people who are properly grounded in life do not need to seek validation outside of themselves. I can't remember exactly how the quote went, but I think it went something along those lines. Basically, what he was saying was that if you're properly grounded in life, then other people's opinions don't really matter and shouldn't really matter. So, that would be my advice for Charlotte Flair is that she actually doesn't need that outside validation. She doesn't actually need to, other people to like her. She actually doesn't need to be the most popular girl in the school. At the end of the day, what matters is, do you like yourself? Do you love yourself? Do you appreciate yourself? Other people's thoughts and opinions don't have any weight to your value. I mean, in your mind, it might have weight, but in reality, it actually has zero weight. What should have the most weight is what you think of yourself. And do you value yourself? And do you love yourself? At the end of the day, what sets your value is what you set your value at. I know it could be hard to realize right now, but if you set your value at whatever it is that you want to set it at, and you live and breathe and you live into the value that you set for yourself, then everything else will follow. Even if maybe you're not quite there just yet, maybe you set a value and you're like, maybe I'm not quite there, but this is where I want to be. But if you do the work, if you do the internal work, and you set your value at whatever it is that you want to set it at, and I could talk about this more in a different video. But whatever you set your value at, if you live it, breathe it, walk the walk and talk the talk, everything around you will actually follow that. Sounds weird, I know. And yeah, it could be the law of attraction, manifestation, however it is that you want to put it. At the end of the day, I think people just read into energies. And if you've got that confidence, and if you're able to talk the talk, and if you're able to walk the walk, then everyone else will follow suit. And if you got so much confidence, they probably won't even question you about it. That would be my advice to both of those superstars if this were real life. But this is not real life. This is professional wrestling, and they're going to settle it in the ring at WrestleMania 41 on April 19th and April 20th. I wish I could see you there, but I'm going to be watching from home. Maybe I'll do a watch along party. I don't know. We'll see. But that's it for today's video. Remember to like and subscribe and drop an elbow on that notification bell so you don't miss a video, because wrestling knows best.